So I'm Vincent Crivello. I'm a 24-year-old from Rosemere, Quebec. So my passion as a kid was evidently hockey. Everyone in my family and everyone that I was surrounded by as a kid just loved hockey more than anything. You know, with the Montreal Canadiens, we would just be watching hockey nonstop. I remember I used to rewatch Wayne Gretzky's little highlight videos when I was young and try and emulate him as like a 6-, 7-year-old. So there was no doubt that my passion was hockey, and that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So my dream growing up was definitely to become an NHL hockey player. We all thought we could have made it when we were young. When we were pretty good, I was playing with some people on my teams that ended up going to the NHL and stuff. So I was kind of surrounded by like good hockey players. But my reality kind of kicked in when I was a little bit younger. At the age where some guys move on and become men, I was still kind of trapped in my smaller frame. And finally, I was able to adapt, and I ended up finding out what the college route was through some of my friends who ended up going to the States. So my dream was still like I was able to adapt and still kind of live out my dream, and something that I never thought I was able to do until only a few years ago. So I'm very glad that now I'm able to still like kind of have that dream of playing hockey till I'm in my 20s, and so it's kind of been great for me. Nichols was definitely the right decision for me because as soon as I got here, I'd never seen it, or I barely heard from it. I'd only heard of it from a teammate of mine. So when I came here, I just saw the green grass and the crazy campus and just the community aspect of it, and I thought right away that it was the right decision for me. I'd come from a school back home with over 10,000 students where I was kind of just viewed as a number, and I didn't really excel in my academics as I thought I deserved to. And then when I came here, just the kind of that community aspect that I touched upon, where I'm walking into the class and they know my name, they know if I scored the night before, they know how well I should be doing. So even if there is a dip or whatever, they want you to kind of get to meet your full potential. So just that academic aspect, I knew right away that it was right for me. Then the hockey just took care of everything else, because right away when I was young as a freshman here, the hockey was great. We had a great leadership core, and I knew right away that it was the right place for me to be. So the last 4 years for me as a Nichols hockey player, I can't even put into words. At a certain point, I didn't even know I would continue my hockey career. So then to be lucky enough to kind of stumble upon Nichols thanks to one of my teammates, it was just the greatest feeling. And then we had a pretty good year my first year, and then some injuries kind of brought me down a little bit. So I wasn't even sure if I would continue to play hockey at certain points because of the injuries that I was going through. And we still kind of figured out a way to battle through them, and through the great support staff and our medical team, we were able to still play through and win games. And I was able to suit up for when we won our championship game my sophomore year. So that was something that is going to be engraved in my memory forever. And then as an upperclassman, we're just kind of trying to recreate that, and it's something that for me, it goes without saying, it's been like the best few years of my life, being able to play at such a high level with some people that I would have never known. I would have never met these people from all over the world, and now I have lasting memories with them, and they're going to be like at my wedding and stuff. Like, these are guys that for me, we always talk about being brothers and stuff, and it's just something that I truly take to heart, because we're gonna be friends forever. So there's the hockey aspect, and then that ties into all the relationships that I've built, and it's just been the best. So I worked in the ARC last year, and it was something that I kind of just did because I knew I needed some money, and you know, I usually get paid in the Canadian dollar when I go back home, so finally getting a job where I get the USD was definitely something that I was looking forward to. And then as soon as I was in there, the whole environment of the ARC, where we're just able to help people nonstop, it was kind of something that for me, you get great satisfaction out of helping people, even if I would run into them after in the hallways or on campus and ask them how well they've done on their tests. You kind of get, it's like one of those hockey things where you give a nice pass and you just feel great, like the team scored, you're happy. So for me, it's been great. I've been helping some of my roommates for a while because not everyone has English as a first language. So whether it was through academics or just through like speaking with them one-on-one in the ARC or outside of it, it was something that I really enjoyed doing, and I'm glad that I was able to get paid doing it, and hopefully more guys on the team are able to work there and continue the tradition of kind of helping everyone on campus. So I decided to get my master's here after graduating early because of some credits I brought in. Obviously, the hockey aspect was major for me because I wanted to continue my fourth year of being eligible. But any chance you can get to get 2 degrees in 4 years, you have to take. And I can't wait to get those like 3 letters at the end of my name. And I know if ever I go back home, or even if I were to work out here, just going through like the same old resumes where they see the same few like accolades and stuff. If ever they were to see an MBA, I know it's gonna kind of push me ahead of the crowd, and that's something that if I ever were to have that opportunity, I know I had to take it. So far it's been amazing. We're learning from the genius teachers who have like decades of experience as CEOs, CFOs, and not only are we learning from the teachers, but the people in our classes are also incredibly intelligent. So we're learning from every aspect of the business and experience and the industry that we kind of all want to go into. So far it's been great, and I love my decision. So I've grown as a person here, definitely big time. Just on a personal level, living away from home, obviously it's gonna throw you into the fire of maturity. Whether it was just starting out eating some ramen noodles or now having cooking for the week and being prepared, makes you just makes you feel like you definitely matured and you grew as an individual. Obviously, health is a huge part of being a student athlete and all the amount of work that we put in. So that's definitely something that I feel like I've grown big time, and just time management. Because of the school aspect and sports, I definitely felt like I had to grow big time, and it's something that as a freshman that I kind of struggled with, and now as a senior it's definitely became a little bit more easier. So at the end of my 4 years here, I know I'm going to be able to have a lot of takeaways to bring back to my future. Definitely one of them is just the relationships that I've built here. I think if any place I would have ever been, I would have never created the relationships that I did here. These people that I met here, not only the hockey team, like obviously I tend to focus more towards the team because I'm with them nonstop, but even the teachers, every single person, my classmates, they've all been incredibly helpful. They all go out of their way to try and make sure that we are always doing our best. And what's great about that is that extends to when you're alumni as well. Since I graduated last year, my undergrad, I was working in the summer, and I still got a call from someone in the career development center just checking up on me, even though they knew that I was going to come back the year after. They just wanted to make sure like everything was going great and just making sure that I had a job and everything was kind of working smoothly so I can fulfill my goals. So that whole thing, just the takeaway is just like we're a community no matter what, whether it's right now or in the future. We're always going to be Nichols College Bison, and we're going to be always working together. So that's been great for me. Outside of hockey, I didn't really know. I was trying to come into my own for school, and then one of my first classes here was with Dr. Sambrowski, where I was able to we had a large focus on oral presentations, and I guess he liked how I presented, and myself and 2 other hockey players were actually doing pretty well in that class, so he decided to take us to South Carolina, where we went and participated in a case study for sports management. So we went out to South Carolina and we did very well. We actually finished in second place, runner-up. So that was something for me that first of all, I would have never even gone to South Carolina if it weren't for this school and for the opportunity that our teacher gave us. So that kind of extended to the next year as well, when we went to Baylor and we participated in the first negotiation case study. So that's something that was completely new to me, and I really I started liking it a lot, the whole aspect of negotiating. We ended up going against some very, very notable schools with teachers who went to Harvard, and they were taking out their Harvard case studies for negotiation, and we kind of went in kind of blind, just the confidence that we had instilled from our teachers and from our time at Nichols, and we ended up finishing third. So out of schools, we ended up beating schools like Babson, McGill back home. So a lot of schools that I thought they kind of get more like of the acclaim than Nichols does, but we ended up doing incredibly well. So that's something that outside of hockey, I'm always gonna, if ever I have the platform to speak on that, I definitely will. So Nichols helped me find my way through the camaraderie of like the whole school. Obviously, sometimes there's times where you can feel alone or whatever, but every single person is definitely gonna kind of pull in your direction and make sure that you're doing all right. Whether it's through injury and then someone else is kind of trying to pick you up and make sure that you come back at 110%, or even just if it's like a mental aspect where you're feeling a little bit down. There's guys, whether it was on my team or just on campus, that are willing to help all the time. They helped me find my way and grow tremendously as we're in like the pivotal years coming here as we're young adults and we're trying to find our way and trying to mature in the right way. So we just had so many role models here, whether it was teachers or coaches or even just parents back home or anything. Even the videos that we watch sometimes, they tend to stick with you, and they try to whenever like things don't go right or whatever, you kind of have those voices just kind of steering you in the right direction to make sure that you make the right choices, because we're always representing the Nichols hockey program. We're always representing the school, whether that's on camera, on the ice, in the classroom. We're always trying to do our best and make sure that we would make ourselves proud in the future. And so far, I can look back on these few years, and I'm definitely proud of where I started and where I've come. So.